I was going to ask if you would pray for us first. Yeah.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Heavenly Father, hear the prayer of your children. Guide us in everything that we do this day and continuing through our lifetimes. Help us to have the courage to do what we need to do in this lifetime for you and for the heavenly realm. In the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Um, so I guess I do have a couple questions. They'll be personal
Okay.
in nature, but obviously I think as we go on, you'll just you're a wealth of knowledge. First off, I want to thank you for last time. I've been I've been thinking about the merge, for instance.
Uh,
I have been thinking about 11/11, which is
mhm.
today, but
Right.
it's quote unquote it's a portal. I didn't know it was a portal, right?
Yeah.
A portal time.
But it's
Because
also a portal for good, not a portal, not a dark one.
right, right,
Yeah.
right. I've been feeling like I think you said something earlier that triggered my thought was that it's an awakening period. I've been
It
feeling
is.
like I've been going through an awakening period,
Yeah.
and then I've been sensing physiological changes. Like I've been
Mm-hmm.
waiting for something to happen. I
Mm-hmm.
did ask for I guess, my angel to merge with me,
Uh-huh.
um, and I noticed subtle changes in thought process.
Exactly. Yeah. He is front and center. So yeah, he is there.
Right, and
I can
I
I
know.
can see him. He is forward.
Okay,
So it just takes time for it to be to where you get to the point where you're sitting down and having a conversation, long conversation with him, you know.
right, right.
But it will happen. It just takes time. And that's why I tell people talk to your angel every day telepathically, every
Hmm.
day, because that helps to strengthen the bond between the two of you.
And use the name, use the
Mm-hmm.
first name basis as well. Like,
Right.
hey,
Yeah.
right, okay, because it has gotten. I understand. He ends with a certain. He says, "Bro," I think he's saying that to hey, this is me. Because
Uh-huh.
there are other angels that we can interact with at different times, but they've actually been quiet or quieter
Right.
than I think. What I'm hearing
Yeah,
is that
they would kind of back off as he comes forward. That's
yes,
that's what they do.
yeah, and my thought process, whatever I feel like, whatever, whatever I think he's saying now is they do that on purpose to allow for it to be more, I
Right.
guess,
Right. Yeah, to be able
streamlined.
to for the connection to be clearer for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, one question I had is this: different religions they talk about awakening, all that stuff, and especially the Buddhists and the chakras. Is there something that's going on with the merge that starts physiologically with the Kundalini rising, or how does that
Well, it'll affect, when you have a warrior angel or any kind of angel within you, it's going to resonate in the physical body.
Mhm,
So it's like, give you an example. 2 weeks ago, we had a huge, huge battle between dark and light.
mhm,
And when that happens, I merge completely with
mhm.
Ariel. And if she gets wounded, I get wounded.
Okay.
So it's like we did battle. She got cut on the hand and in the upper arm. And when I came out of the battle, I had the wounds from that. So it
Wow.
does. So it does, affect you physically.
Okay. I think I've been battling with fear, or
Yeah,
and
that's what
I
he's saying. He says there's a lot of fear. He says there's a lot of doubt. He says there's a lot of questions.
mhm,
And he says we will work through it all.
mhm,
He says you need to know that I'm here. I'm not going anywhere.
mhm,
And this is as much about you as it is about me and doing
mhm.
the work.
Right. That's and I've been feeling like it is a part of the process. Like I even asked the other day, I was like, "You still there?" It's like, yeah, you
Yeah.
know,
Like, really? I'm here?
right. And I guess with this, I've been looking, just looking around and understanding that people that go through an awakening like this, it does feel sort of lonely,
It
you
does,
know.
because you're kind of out there on your own. You don't move to the same drummer that everybody else does. You always feel one step out of step, like you
Mhm,
don't quite belong.
mhm,
You don't quite belong here. And that's just a part of the way it is. It's you have very few close friends
mhm,
because not everybody will understand you.
mhm.
And when you do find someone that understands you and whom you can talk to, then they become one of your closest friends. I mean, I can count on one hand the amount of close friends I have,
Yeah,
because and it's very important for you to weed through the ones that will stick with you no matter what happens. And
right,
the ones that are what my grandmother used to call fair weather friends. They're there when they're there for the good times, but they're not there for the bad times.
right. I feel that.
And yeah. So that's very important. You'll notice as time goes on that the fair weather friends will drop away.
Yeah, they already
And
have.
yeah. And the good ones, the ones that are real friends, will stick around and they'll be there to support you no matter what.
Right.
Even if they don't believe in the same thing you do,
Hmm.
but they believe in you.
Right.
So they will be there for you. My husband is agnostic.
Hmm.
He's very left brained. He's an auditor.
Hmm.
If you can't touch it, feel it, or see it, it's not real. At least that's how it was before we got married.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
seen things now that he knows that are real and he doesn't
Yeah.
want to see them again.
No denying it.
But it's like you told our son, I may not believe the way your mother does, but I've seen the good she does, and I will back her in everything that she does.
Mhm. I think I have found two people. Obviously, I feel like you're more of like what they call master gurus. You are though high ranking, I guess is the better
Yeah,
way to put
yeah,
it.
because Ariel's one of the four that makes up the Legion of Light, and so
Right.
she trains the warrior angels. She
Right.
and the others train the warrior angels, and so she feels responsible towards them when they come into the physical world as well.
Right.
And you were trained, but you were trained by Raphael and Michael. So, you got training from both of them. Your warrior angel did.
And healing and communication, I guess those are things that you had said.
Yeah, those are the things that you were sent here to work with. Communication can be, people think communication is like just talking, but it's not really. It's talking to somebody, it's
Mhm.
listening to somebody,
Right.
people that need an ear, somebody
Yeah.
that just need to talk. Or even if it's the work that you do in the physical world,
Hmm.
whether you're a disc jockey, or whether you're a podcaster, or whether
Hmm.
you're, social worker or whatever. It's all about communication. People need to understand you don't have control. Control is an illusion,
Mm.
you know? It's you there. If you stop and think about it, how many external forces are pushing on you?
Right.
Do you have control of them? No, no way, no how. The only thing you can control is yourself. You
Mm.
cannot control others around you. And even when you control yourself, you're still subject to God.
Yes. And that's actually a comforting thing. I think as
Yeah.
I've been going today, I've just been hearing trust God, trust God, trust
Hmm.
God. And maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I gave up pot. Um, I don't drink alcohol. I don't drink a ton of caffeine, but I'm noticing it's affecting me now.
Yeah, it will. Because the angel is more forward, it doesn't like anything to do with alcohol or drugs of any kind. And because when somebody does, like, say somebody's doing like cocaine,
Mm.
it opens their
Hmm.
mind, but it also opens to let the dark ones in. And they're more than willing to come on in.
I've given up nicotine too. And I mean, I think it's a lower level energy, I guess, those things, those
Mhm.
earth element
Yeah.
type things.
Yeah, they are. They're very low level. And it's like people don't understand too that, the drugs that come from Mexico, Brazil, all these other places where the drugs come from, they do satanic worship over them.
Oh, wow.
They do rituals, satanic rituals, and
Okay.
that enables you to become hooked on the drugs.
Wow. Okay.
And I've seen it, actually seen it. I can remote view, and I see these things,
Right.
and it's like, okay, well, yeah, but I've never been. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I never do drugs. I've been in medicine too long. I've seen it all.
I
So I
hear
can't
you.
stay away from that stuff. I never smoked because I grew up with two smokers, and I could never stand the smell.
I just felt like I had to. I felt like my body was saying, God can't use you, like the frequency and all that stuff.
Mhm. Right. It
And
lowers your, yeah, it lowers your frequency. And you
mhm,
don't need that. You need your frequency to be high
right.
because you need to be above the other things, above any of that. And once once that's taken place and you're rid of the stuff, then
Mm-hmm.
the warrior angel can utilize, he can help heal you.
Yeah.
He help guide you.
Hmm.
And you have the gift of the laying on of hands because any angel can heal.
Right.
And
Right.
you don't have to be present with the individual to heal them. You
Okay.
can do it from a distance. The trick to it is getting a picture of the individual, whether it's an
Right.
animal or a person,
Okay.
and make sure that the person, you get consent from the person for the healing.
Yeah.
And then you close your eyes, you go into a meditative state and you heal them. You pull the energy from the white light realm and
Okay.
you put it into the crown of their head. And what happens is it goes in and it fills the body,
Hmm.
and it starts on the molecular level of the body, and it works its way through, and anything that needs to be healed is healed. But it's a bit different. It's like, okay, say somebody has cancer and they have back pain.
Hmm.
Okay, well, it's gonna the healing is gonna go towards the cancer, not
Hmm.
the back pain.
Right.
The back pain may get a little bit of boost from it, but the focus, and God guides the energy. So the focus is on the cancer.
Okay. So then I should. So then, when you're in these processes, are you asked? I guess it's foreign to me, but when somebody says, when your angel or or you're talking to God, you're saying, okay, where's the white light realm? Are they that happens later when you can see it and visualize it,
Yeah.
or
Yeah, you should be able to see the white light realm and enter the white
okay,
light realm.
okay,
With your angel in tow, you should be able to, he will facilitate
mm,
you actually going to the white light realm.
okay,
You keep your physical body anchored here,
mhm,
but you basically blink and you're in the white light realm.
okay, yeah,
You know,
I
you'll
heard it.
you'll have one foot in the light and one foot on earth.
Okay,
And
that sounds fun.
I've lived that way for 66 years.
And I heard I was supposed to start fasting, so like a couple days ago I started, and it hasn't been hard. I've fasted at least 7 days before,
Yeah.
just water and
Yeah,
drink.
yeah, they're saying just not go beyond 7 days. I
Okay.
remember one time they wanted me to fast, and I went 18 days.
Wow.
And it's like it is what it. I wasn't hungry. It didn't bother me.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
And but you have to also take care of the body because you
Right.
cannot do the work here in the physical world if your
Hmm.
body is out of whack.
Yeah.
It's
And
like
I
it's
think
like I
past
had
that I get
cancer
crazy.
and I was diagnosed with cancer, and they went in and they healed it.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of, it's something that I needed the healing of the cancer in order to facilitate being able to do the work. Because you can't do the work if you're stuck in a hospital somewhere, going undergoing chemo and stuff like that.
Mm. So I guess what my thought was why this is happening. Obviously, after our last conversation, I felt like, people that are going through an awakening, like it's for them,
Hmm.
but it's also like there's an immediate mission. I'm just starting to find out. I still feel like God's saying, I'm gonna find out more as time
Right.
goes.
You will. This is the time when there's a lot of secrets being given. Secrets are being revealed.
But then
And
there's
they,
freedom too.
yeah, And you have a little bit of both.
It has been happening little by little. So many synchronicities.
And there's no such thing as coincidence.
Right. And I feel like it's like everything has happened to like sort of like remind me like, okay, this, and then,
That
yeah.
he's working in your life, and
Oh my gosh.
you'll always have him in your life.
And I kid you not, that day I had a or the week, that same week, I had a hypnotherapy session where I had regression and I saw past lives, and some of
Uh-huh.
them were warrior lives.
Right.
And then I don't remember all of it, but when I came back and talked to her about it, and it was the craziest period because for 2 or 3 weeks I told you what was happening, all this stuff was
Mm-hmm.
happening, and I lost some friends then because I was telling them that I was hearing the angels
Mm-hmm.
and that things were like ramping up in time, like just in
Right.
terms of the kingdom and just, and it was
Mm-hmm.
just too much for people to handle, and they were just like,
Yeah, that's why I said the fair weather ones will fall away.
and it was weird because at a certain point they could believe what I was saying and thinking, but then it was just too wacky for them, right?
And you're not crazy. It's God's
Right,
work.
right. And that was the other thing, is all these other things were being synchronistic in terms of I was finding out stuff, right?
Yeah, everything happens for a reason. Yeah.
Yeah. So fast forward now, I mean, we've been talking 4 or 5 months. Everything happened for a reason. I think that, it'll pan out eventually. But I guess that's where I was gonna go, is how can I guess you're saying, go to the white light realm
Right. Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
kid.
There's that trigger. Yeah. That type of energy never
Hmm.
leaves a location unless you cleanse it.
Right.
And so you're going to have to, if you have some sage and
Hmm.
you ask for God to help you to heal the
Hmm.
house. It's
Yeah.
not so much a clearing, but a healing of the house, because this type of energy is absorbed by the porous surfaces in the house.
Yeah.
Just as when a negative is present, it's, the negative energy is absorbed by the pore surfaces in the house.
Hmm.
Quartz is, if you have a location that's filled with quartz, underneath a building or whatever, quartz is like a recorder. It holds on to everything and amplifies it. And it will make, whether it's for good or bad, it'll amplify it. It's like a recorder.
But no more than it takes a minute to walk to it. There's a Masonic lodge up there, a King Solomon lodge.
Yeah, yeah. I don't like Masonic lodges because they do things in there that's not
Yeah.
good.
And it might not be a higher level Masonic lodge, but
Any of them, it's the same. Yeah, that's all the same.
yeah. And
Yeah,
so,
so you can create like a protective barrier around,
hmm.
because you have a warrior angel within you.
Hmm.
You can create an infinity orb, and you can place the home, building, whatever, inside the infinity orb for protection. The way
Hmm.
to do that, you remember when you're a kid and
Yeah.
you have those big wands that blow the big bubbles,
Yeah.
the big
Hmm.
bubble blowers. What you do is you create a bubble that looks
Hmm.
like, when you're a kid, that
Hmm.
big bubble, and you create it. You have to state your intention first. Your
Hmm.
intention is to create an infinity orb that will protect against anything negative
Hmm.
from entering. And then you see in your mind the infinity orb growing large enough to encompass, well, the apartment or the whole building or whatever, or the individual person.
Hmm.
And it will stay there. It will gain energy from the light, and
Hmm.
it will stay there, and it will protect.
Okay.
It will not allow the negativity from outside to go past the infinity orb. Tell God what you need, not what you want. That's very important. You say, this is what I need to have happen so that I can continue to grow and to do the work. And He will supply it. Too many people say, well, I need this or I need that.
Hmm.
And this is not the way to ask him. He will ignore you if you say that. It's this is what I need in order to do the work. It's not this is what I want. I want a new car. I want this. I want that.
Yeah.
And he's probably just rolling in the aisles laughing. God judges you by your heart, not necessarily by your action. And they'd say, it's like, the Mormons say, well, you can't eat this and you can't eat that. Jewish
Mm-hmm.
people, the same thing, it's not kosher, you can't eat that.
Right.
But Jesus said, it's not that which goes into the mouth that defiles the man, but that which proceedeth from the mouth, because everything that proceedeth from the mouth cometh from the heart.
Heart, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
he judges
strong.
you by your heart. I knew that people would have a fit over Trump getting, elected,
Yeah.
but they're reacting stupidly.
Mm-hmm.
It's like God told me a couple years ago. He says, "I've changed his heart. I've changed Trump's heart. He now
Mm-hmm.
works for us. He now
God
works
told me
for
to vote
me."
for him. God told me to
Yeah,
vote for Trump.
yeah, and he
Yeah.
says he's going to be president. And I'm like, okay, and sure enough,
Mm-hmm.
he was. And he said that he's having him pick people that are of the light to work for him.
Mm.
He says that is the goal, is to get light workers in there and to bring the nation. God says, I want to bring the nation back to the light. It has been too long in the dark.
Mm.
And people
Deep
don't
state.
understand that.
It's
hard
been
for them to understand. Yeah.
that side of things. I mean, Trump's an outlier. It doesn't matter which Republican, Democrat. They've both been a part of a system that has taken advantage of kids, women,
Oh,
men,
yeah. Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. The thing is, Biden and Harris both have negative entities attached to them.
Oh, yes.
I have just recently removed them. And because God said, the time of the time is over, go ahead and take them away. So I did that the other night. So that, and like Jesus said, you can't serve mammon and God.
Yep. And that's so then with how long do you think, I guess everybody's in a different time phase, but right now,
Starting in January of 2025, God and I had a long talk the other day.
okay.
And he says, starting January 2025, and for the next 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
the light will overtake the dark,
Mm-hmm.
and America will be strong again.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, people will know this and come to realize it. And he's also awakening more warrior angels that are being born even as we speak.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of changes over the next 3 years.
Full agreement. And I think it's a testing period for certain types of warrior angels. I don't know why.
Yeah. It's for the ones that are it's testing. It's a time of testing for the warrior angels.
Mm-hmm.
There are those who are strictly battle of darkness.
Okay.
And most of them have other, facilitators, healers, communicators, all this type of thing. But the ones that are the battle, the warriors, they are preparing for the next 3 years.
Right. And I have a sense that I'm not a warrior angel. I'm supposed to be, I'm a healer communicator, so I can help people understand what's going on.
Yeah, what's happening and understand why it's happening.
And help with the process to streamline.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's why your book is so necessary. It's like it's like battle codes. It's like
that's a good thing, because we are visual people.
Mm-hmm.
We need to see that there has been a change.
Mm-hmm.
When I first started, this is how it was. And
Mm-hmm.
then you write in your book once a week, and you write in the journal once a week, and you see the progression of things happening. And that's very, very important. You can say, and you can bring others that are warrior angels who will come to you, and you will say, this is how I started. And this is the progression of what happened. And this can happen for you as well. It's not going to happen overnight, but it is going to happen. God says, just keep the faith. When you go through all of this crap here in the physical world,
Mm.
Just know that he's still there and he's still helping.
I keep hearing just trust God and trust the process, and
Mhm.
um, all these things that he's shown me, especially with these people. It's like it's just the tip of the iceberg. Like I think he wants me to establish home
Mhm.
first,
Yeah.
like so that I can understand safety.
Yep. First, take the beam out of your own eye so that you can
Mhm.
take it out of your brother's.
Right, and
It was
religion.
it was basically stifling you and
Yeah,
stifling your angel as well.
right, right.
That's what she came into this lifetime to do.
To rid herself of the karma of him.
Yeah. Like I said, if you can just create an infinity orb to
Hmm.
protect, you can put it around the individual person, you can put it
Hmm.
around an object, you can put it around a building. It
Hmm.
it knows no bounds. It's
Okay.
all about stating your intention before you create it,
Okay.
because that gives it power. Okay, he says
No,
you're going in the right direction. He said
cool,
that
man.
you're following the path.
Awesome. And I'm excited for all the work that you're doing. That book is going to be awesome. No
Yeah,
pressure.
I've
It's
added I've
coming when
added some
it's.
more to it as I've gone through it.
Yeah.
It's not going to be hugely long, but it's going to be packed full of a lot of information.
Right. What's needed. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's going to come out right before. Yeah. People know what the heck's hitting them, because I don't think the other side understands what's coming.
no,
They don't know we're here. I was hearing the boys are back in town. That song. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
And in the book of Enoch and other parts, is talking about the elect and the holy and righteous. And
Mhm.
so there's a lot of space in there where we're talking about the angels, elect, holy, righteous, and people on the earth.
Mhm.
It's like there's a lot of space in there for different types of beings.
There
You see
are.
what I'm saying? That are of a higher dimension, a higher divinity, but still
Oh yeah,
touching down on earth, having to
yep,
live earthly lives.
yeah,
It just started to catch my eye. So
yeah.
there
There's a
are.
lot. There's a lot of people don't know, and that's in one of my other books. And I've started. God wanted me to create 4 volumes. The first one was
Mhm.
demon-seer, the awakening. The
Right.
next one is demon-seer, into the light.
Okay.
So it talks about what's going on in the light and a lot of misconceptions that humans have of the light.
And I've only read one of them. So demon-seer into the light. That's another one.
That's one that I'm working on. That's the second volume
Oh, okay.
in I he wanted me to do 4 of them. One about
Okay.
downstairs, the dark
Okay.
ones, which is demon-seer, the awakening.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
next one that I'm creating, I'm working on 4 books at the same time.
Hey,
The next one is demon-seer, into the light.
that's awesome. That's awesome. And everybody's dealing. Does it feel like everybody's dealing with the same thing? Just like sort of
Yeah,
like going
yeah,
through
yeah,
progressing, changing jobs, changing people.
yeah, yeah. There's a lot of unrest, a lot of things changing right now. But
Yeah.
like I said, it'll really start in serious starting January.
So that means that this period is kind of like
The calm
people
before the
being
storm.
the calm before the storm. It feels like it's calm, but you did say something that sort of gave me peace. Is that you were saying that we be provided for,
Oh
like
yes.
everything will fall into place, and I feel like it's the first of people in
Yep.
our people we can
Yeah.
trust.
And the light workers, like I said, over the next 3 years, the light workers are going to benefit from these changes. It's going
Hmm.
to bring a lot more. It's going to bring financial stability to the light workers. It's going to
Hmm.
bring more confidence to them.
Hmm.
And, because a lot of light workers don't have any self confidence at all. And, so it's going to open up like this whole new world.
I just want everybody that I know to be first feel healed and understood and heard. There's a lot of people in my heart that think you get it.
Yeah. All right. I gotta go.
Well,
I've got
thank
one
you.
more phone call to do today.
All right. Well, be blessed, and you're so encouraging. Thank you so much.
All right. You take care of yourself.
All right. Love you, girl.